So I'm going to just share with y'all what I've been getting from my little research. So it has been a journey of mine, and it's interesting. It's good. It's a nice journey. So tonight will be the first part of some of my research that I've been doing and that I kind of put together. So if you will, just imagine with me that every single thing that you own, all the gold, all the silver, all of the fine linens, all of your time, all of your skills, everything that you own, being offered up to build a place that will never be your sole place, but a place that will change the destiny of a people. And this is what happened with Israel when they were in the wilderness. They gave up the gold, they gave up silver, they gave up fine linens so that they could build the tabernacle. The tabernacle was more than just a tent. It was a physical place where heaven and earth connected. It was a place where Yah could have his presence and he could live among his people. It was a place that was designed and built for Yah. It was his exact standards. It wasn't man. It wasn't something that somebody said, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It was given from Abba himself. And he said, he gave his specifications, and it was given. It wasn't cheap material. It was the right material. It was a material that he designed. It wasn't done halfway. It wasn't done with half effort. It was done excellent because it represented his dwelling place. If you will, just think about this. What do you think a holy place, when you think of a holy place, what comes to mind? When you think of a holy place, what comes to mind?
For reverence, a place just kind of set aside for reverence.
We got it. A place that's set aside for reverence. Anybody else? When you think of a holy place, what comes to mind? Peace.
Pure.
Pure. Peace.
Sacred.
Sacred. Where the Spirit dwells. So let's think about that. Think about all of those words that we just gave out, and then think about the first tabernacle that was given to man by Yah. He gave his blueprint. He gave his idea of what he wanted his dwelling place to be. And as we go to Exodus 25, and our scripture is going to be Exodus 25 and 8, but I'll start at 1. Okay, and then this is the New King James Version. This is New King James Version. Then Yah spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel that they bring me an offering. From everyone who gives it willingly, with his heart, you shall take my offering. So we see here that it has to be willingly, right? So when they offered it up and when they gave up their gold, when they gave up their silver, their fine linens, they wasn't grudgingly, they gave it willingly. And in verse 3, and this is the offering which you shall take from them: gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, fine linen, and goat's hair, ram skin dyed red, badger skin, and acacia wood, oil for the light, and spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. And I always wondered why was incense always something that had to be burning? And then I think Apostle Clayton said it was, well, and if I would have thought about it, I probably would have known, but it was because of the sacrifices. So you had to have something there to get the stench away. So the oil that they needed, the oil for the light, and then the sweet incense, onyx stones, this is 7, and to be set in the ephod, in the breastplate, and then 8, let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. The Israelites, they were coming out of Egypt. They had journeyed through the wilderness, and Yah said, have them make me a place so that I can come and we can be together. My presence will be with them. He had already rescued them from Egypt, and he just wanted to dwell, right? He just wanted to be with his people. The tabernacle was a visible center of Israel's life, representing Yah's throne among his people. It was portable. Portable means it was able to be moving with them through the wilderness, showing Yah's presence wasn't tied to one place. So that means that the presence of God moves or can move, right? And as we think about the tabernacle that was built, we know that it was gold, we know that there was silver, we know that there was bronze, we know that there was bright colors, vibrant colors. So just imagine being one of the Israelites, and you are in the wilderness, and then you see all of this magnificence, this tabernacle, and it has gold, it has silver, it has bronze. And then not only that, at nighttime, what did we see? What was over the tent? Light. Yes. So the fire, you saw, you had the light that was just over it, so you could see wherever you were going. And it's just the glory shining above the tent. The priests moving in the holy order. They had everything detailed the way that Yah wanted it done. He commanded them to do it in a certain order, certain way. And it was precise because it was his dwelling place on earth, right? And just imagine that picture. Just imagine that beautiful place where you can see where you're coming out of Egypt, a place where you were in bondage, and then now you're in the wilderness. As we leave Egypt, we bring all of our gold that we borrow from the Egyptians, right? We bring all that, and then you give it all to build the temple, okay? A tabernacle, to build a tabernacle, okay? So we have to understand that the tabernacle structure is a structure that is a picture of you, right? The tabernacle structure is a picture of you. So if we look in Exodus 25, and then so in your spare time, if you will, in your spare time, just look at 25 through 31, and that gives you the instructions on building the tabernacle, right? And you want to make sure that you read those because there are specifications, and then there's something that is there for you, right? So just make sure that you read Exodus 25 through 31 and see how Yah leads you and what he gives to you so that your life will be changed. because of that, okay? But we're going to read Exodus 25 and 40. Exodus 25 and 40. You're already in Exodus 25, so let's just go down to 40, and it's at the end. You're already in Exodus 25, so let's just go down to 40, and it's at the end. That you make them according to the pattern which was shown you on the mountain. See that you make them after the shown you on the mountain. So there is a pattern that was given to you for you. So when sewers have a pattern, they follow the pattern. They make the, whatever it is, the suit, the dress from the pattern, and they just stitch it together. So you already got the pattern because it was embedded in you. But you got to talk to the creator to figure out, okay, what is this pattern? How am I made, or what are you making of me? So the tabernacle, we know that it had 3 parts. It has the outer court, the holy place, and the most holy place, right? So the outer court is where sacrifices were made, and this represents the body, right? So the outer court represents the body because this is the visible action, daily choices. This is what you're doing on a daily basis. So the outer court, right? This is everything that is seen. This is what the people see. All right. So we got to make sure that our outer court is something that will be pleasing in the sight of God. Okay? Our daily choices. So if you're in a situation and somebody is making you upset and you decide to get upset with them instead of allowing God to guide your tongue, guide your emotions, then they just saw the outer court, right? They just saw you for who you are. And people don't separate, hey, you human being, just like I'm a human being. They say, oh, that's one of them church people. You know, so just be mindful of that. Are we going to be perfect? Are we going to get it right all the time? No. But we have to try our best to make the mark. Right? We want our outer court to be an outer court that represents the Most High. Okay? All right. Then we got the holy place. The holy place is where the priests ministered. This is where the priests come in, and this is that time they get in their mind right. The holy place is where the priests ministered. This is where the priests come in, and this is that time they get in their mind right, they get in their will right, they get in their emotions right, because this is for the body, the soul. All right? So make sure that your mind is stayed on God, your will is stayed on God, and your emotions are godly. Sometimes we can allow our emotions to take us to a place because of something that happened in the outer court. Okay, so we also must remember that this is something that said, Elder Oliver said, and Apostle, you may have said it also, that when the priests went in, they had to tie, when they go into the most holy place, they had to tie a string on them. So if they go in there, they ain't right, they're going to pull them on out. All right? So this place, this is where you are getting yourself right, okay? So you got your outer court, that's your body. You got your holy place, that's your soul. And you have the most holy place. This is where Yah's presence dwells, above the ark. And this for the human, or the physical, is the spirit. This represents your spirit, the deepest place of connection with Yah. So that connection, that relationship that you've built with the Most High, this is where the most holy place is. So once you get to a point you've been praying, you've been worshiping, you've been meditating, and you get to that level to where you and Yah are at the same, you just right there. It's a place where And then sometimes I do believe that we can get to a point to where we just get engulfed and we just, and the Holy Spirit got to shake us a little bit to bring us out of that, to bring us out. It's just like pulling the cord. You got to bring us out of that place because sometimes we can't physically, we don't want to leave because it's peaceful. It's at a place to where you and y'all are just, you can't tell the difference, right? So we got to look at, just as the priest couldn't neglect cleaning, hear this, the priest couldn't neglect cleaning, preparing, and maintaining the tabernacle, you cannot neglect your health. Just like the priest, because I'm bringing it together, just like the priest could not neglect cleaning the tabernacle, just like they could not neglect preparing the tabernacle, putting it together, and maintaining the tabernacle, you cannot neglect your health. Neglect your health. What's going to happen if you neglect your health? What's going to happen if we don't keep the tabernacle clean? It gets dirty. It's going to be filthy, right? And so if we bring that over to our bodies, we don't keep it clean, and then we just coming out of, well, we're not coming out of because it's a continuous process, but we've been talking about resets. As we know, anytime that newness is there, there is a reset. So when the Israelites were coming out of Egypt, they went to a moment of, it was like a fasting, right? And I look at it as they had to clear out of those things that were in their body that was given to them by the Egyptians. So God allowed them the manna, all right? So everything that they had from Egypt, all of the bad stuff, even the mindset that they had, it was cleansed. So as we go through our lives, our bodies have to be cleansed also. You got to reset your body. You got to clean it so it's not filthy. And I am not saying to go out and stop eating everything that you like to eat. I'm not saying stop listening to everything that you like to listen to. I'm not saying stop seeing or stop watching everything that you like to watch. But I am saying there has to become a point in time where you don't listen, hear, or see those things. Because your body has to be cleansed. Because there are some things that we do watch, there are some things that we do hear, some things that we do say, eat, that is not good for our body, that is not clean, right? So cleanse your body on a regular basis so that your temple is clean. Every part of the tabernacle had a function. So does every organ and every bone and every muscle in your body. Everything. And I'm gonna pick on just because he got, it's visible, so I ain't telling nothing. So would you say that one toe can affect your whole way of moving, your whole life, how you move?
Yes, one toe can do that.
And
then you got 10 of them.
And you got 10 of them.
One will make a serious effect.
Yes. And then I can also say that you have two kidneys, right? One can affect you, two can affect you. Any organ in your body, it can affect, if it is not functioning how it's supposed to function, it can affect your life, okay? So we want to make sure that we are taking care of every organ, every bone, every muscle in our body, right? It's one thing that Shai and I were speaking on, footwear. Like everybody wants to wear something that looks nice, right? I have some issues going on with these bunions down there. But, and I've learned that sometimes just because it looks good doesn't mean it's good for me, right? So I have to have in my head that look is not everything. I'm on this wavelength of comfort, right? And it doesn't even matter. And I've been saying this for so long. I've been telling my kids. I know I've been telling Junior that it don't matter what kind of shoes you got on. It don't matter what you wear, because you make it. But then here I go, still I gotta go get this. I gotta go get that. But at the same, I've been telling him that all this time, and so instead of me listening to myself, I was just saying that, and I have to now make sure that one, my feet are comfortable. I gotta make sure my feet are comfortable. So that's one thing that we all need. We just need to make sure that we take care of our bodies. If one part failed, the whole system suffered, right? So we don't want to allow a part to stop us from enjoying the goodness of God. If you were a priest in charge of maintaining the tabernacle, would you let the oil run out? No. Would you leave the altar dirty? No. Then why do we sometimes treat our bodies with less care than we treat anything else? We got to take care of this temple, right? The temple as a living body. And 1 Kings 6 through 8, and as a living body. And 1 Kings 6 through 8, and we're not going to go through all of 6 through 8, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. And in 6 through 8, Solomon builds the temple. This is a permanent version of the tabernacle, right? So now we go from tabernacle, and then the name changed to, of course, temple, okay? In Psalms 139:14, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. We got to know that this is wonderful. We are in the image of Yah, right? We are, and it's more than looks. It's also mentality. It's also thought process. It's everything, not just looks. But if we are fearfully and wonderfully made, why do we not treat it as such? Okay? In 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20, and I'll read that. And again, this is the New King James, y'all. 1 Corinthians 6. I'll go to 18. Flee sexual immorality. Every sin that a man does is outside the body, but he who commits sexual immorality sins against his own body. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ruach HaKodesh, who is in you, whom you have from Yah, and you are not your own? Well, I am not my own. This is not even mine. This is Yah's. You know how we tell our kids, therefore glorify Yah in your body and in your spirit, which are Yah's. All of this is the Most High's. So are we taking care of this temple as it is the Most High's? That's something that you got to answer. The temple had gold, it had precious stones, and the best craftsmanship that was out there. Your body is even more precious because it's not built by human hands. And sometimes we can give more care to a car, more care to a house, more care to something that man built, but the Most High created this, and we just carry on like it's just. All right. We want to make sure that we are taking care of our bodies. Spiritual care and physical care go hand in hand. Spiritual care and physical care go hand in hand. So I guess my question would be, what is spiritual care? Spiritual care.
One is meditating. On the Word of God and making sure that you are studying, and feeding your body or your mind, spirit, the Word of God. That's one.
Yep. Anybody else?
Always praying before the Lord, keeping everything before the Lord. He said, acknowledge me in all of our ways, and he will direct our pathway. Amen.
Spiritually, I would think that we have to make sure that we have a personal relationship with him, that he is the closest one, that we hear his voice, we meditate, we're in sync with him, with his spirit. That's what I say.
Yeah. Anybody else? I agree. Spiritual is as you can take a moment, right? Wake up early in the morning, go outside when it's still early in the morning, maybe like 5. Go outside and just allow you and Yah to just have a moment. Try it. I ain't saying try it every morning. Try it one morning. And if you have an opportunity. Now I live in the country, but not in the country. So it's still where I live. And if you don't have that opportunity, take a moment, find you somewhere where you can take a trip. Maybe at the beach. And just go out and just enjoy, right? Get your prayer, and this is, and I know she said don't be using me in my teachings, but she'll get up in the morning, she'll walk, and then she got a little chair, she just go out there. I'm going out here to sit with my daddy. Like, okay. Find your moment where you and Yah can you and Abba would just have a moment. Just building your spiritual side, okay? Just like we build our spiritual side, we got to build our physical side, and they go hand in hand. It's as if we are working out our spiritual side by prayer, by meditation, by spending time with Yah. All that is our workout. We having moments. We're speaking in our spiritual language. We are just allowing Yah to speak to us. We're sitting quietly. We are having a moment. You need that in your life. And then too early, the earlier you do it, I know the babies, they be sleep early. So early mornings is the best time, right? Because in my house, it used to be, now Bailey don't start getting up early, but when they were younger, I could get up early in the morning, nobody moved. And that would be my time. And I could read my Bible, I could pray, I could do whatever I needed to do to have my moment so that I can help build my faith, build my relationship with Yah. Building a relationship with Yah is very important. Spiritual, physical, right? So we got to make sure that we're doing both spiritual and physical. Physical, it does not have to be crazy. You don't got to go out and try and run a marathon, go out and do a walk. If that's what you can do, that's what you can do. Go out and do a walk. If that's what you can do, that's what you can do. If that you walk down the street to the next person mailbox, it's just, and it adds on. Or either, hey, I walked to the mailbox once, I'm gonna walk back again. Boom, you did it twice. Find the routine, and once it's routine, it's easy. You're disciplined in. You just got to make sure that you can continuously to do it on a regular basis. Okay, so make sure we're working on spiritual and physical. Nutrition. With nutrition, it is make sure you are eating with any reset. Fixing nutrition is always the key. So when you go to the doctor and something is wrong with you, what's the first thing they're gonna tell you? Change your eating habits, right? Change your eating habits. So change your eating habits, and that's not saying, y'all, and don't get me wrong, that's not saying don't eat anything. That's just saying try not to eat everything, okay? That's the best way to put it. Try not to eat everything. Another way that you can do a small thing that can go a long way, if you're in the process and you say you want to make a nutritional change and you want your life to change, you can pick a day, or you can pick a food, or you can pick an hour where you're not eating a certain thing. That's all you got to do, right? So let's say if sodas, that's your thing. So on Monday, I'm not going to drink a soda. I'm going to drink just water. Or either on Monday, I'm not going to drink a soda from 7 to 12. Figure out something small. Something small. We're not asking that you go out and do something like go on a 40-day fast. Like I'm not asking you to do that. 20-day fast. Some people, I ain't asking you to do 2-hour fast. I'm just saying, pick a thing, right? Pick a thing, and then allow your body to just wean yourself off of it. Make sure we're getting exercise in. And then nutrition, that's equating with the temple, that's keeping the lampstand lit. Nutrition, keeping the lampstand lit, because your energy is your light. Okay, right? Exercise, keep the core strong and ready. Exercise, like I said, it's something small. You don't got to do a whole lot. Just do something small. Even if it's to the point to where you don't like being outside, you don't like the heat, you don't like bugs, right? You can do something in your house. You can be sitting in your chair and you can do anything, y'all. Or you can be sitting in your chair, you can be doing leg raises, right? Exercise, get movement, and then this is proven. I don't know who proved it, but the more you move, the better you are. If you stop moving, that's it. You stiffen up. You just So move. Keep moving. The consistent movement. And the people who live long, they are constantly doing something. Like you got those people who live past 100. They are working in the garden. They walking their grandkids. They're doing something. So you gotta move. You gotta move. All right. Another big thing: rest and sleep. Okay, and this is letting the temple be restored. Rest and sleep. That's something I got to work on. Rest and sleep. The body is being healed while you're sleeping, while you're resting. Your mind is being restored or renewed while you're resting. So we got to find moments in our life where we sleep and rest. I know we got to get it. We got to get it. And we're in that culture where we just hustle. Okay, hustle to the grave. It does not take all that, y'all. And I wondered, Like I know there was a transition, there was a change. Like life was not as, let me put it like this. And I heard this somewhere. We have people who live like a mediocre life that live like the kings lived back in the 1600s. So we live good, you know? So what is the fascination with more? Like, I wonder where that came from. Like the fascination with more. Rest and sleep. Of course, prayer and worship. This is filling the most holy place. Prayer and worship. Prayer and worship looks different for everybody. The way I pray, the way I worship is not going to be the same Elder Myron pray and worship, right? We're two different people. He do what he do, and I do what I do. I must say that we need to do it. We need to pray. We need to worship. We want to have, and that allows us to go into a level or a different realm. It allows us to go into that holy place where Yah can dwell with us. And I often say this, just to be like Adam and walk in the cool of the day and have Yah just right there talking to you. Like that's amazing. So building prayer, building worship, that also helps build our body, right? As this, my research, as it starts to build and starts to grow, the process, it'll be temple builders program, and it'll go in some different levels, some different wavelengths, but that is the core of it, that the temple, the tabernacle, represents, or is a representation of our body. And as it was a place for Yah to come and dwell, our temples is also a place for him to come and dwell. So we want to make sure that we are taking care of our temples, and it doesn't take a lot. That's what I really want us to hear. It doesn't take a lot. Doing small things can go a long way. Miss Newman said, how's it go? Little bits make big bits. I think that's what she said. Little things can lead to big things happening in your life. If you want to be a person who does push-ups on a regular basis, you got to start with one. Do one push-up for 20 days. One push-up for 20 days. I want to be a person who can do a muscle-up. I do pull-ups every other day so that I can do a muscle-up. I don't even know. It's just something that I want to do. But I just do pull-ups. I do pull-ups because for me, it feels, and that's my time. And the past couple weeks, in that time, I've had special moments with Yah, and I've been praying in tongues, and I just been having a moment. And I know that things are changing, things are happening, and I'm ready to give that testimony. But it's just that time that we have in the mornings, the time that I can go out and I see the stars, a shooting star, and I see the North Star. I see all these little constellations, and I can just imagine that the people, when they were in the wilderness, the Israelites, when they were in the wilderness, how they must have felt when the presence of Yah was right there with them. And they could see all of the miracles. They could see everything that he had, that he was doing for them. Like, it amazes me how they were so a stiff-necked people. Like, you see all of these miracles. You saw what Yah did for you in Egypt. And then you have a moment where you just like, you took us out of here. But I say that to say that we also have moments where Yah has done so much for us that we kind of go away from him. And I am so glad that the reset word came up, and it came up for me in my life at the right time. Just being able to reset and get back to the core, get back to the love that I had for Yah and for ministry and just to help people. And I know that this information, where it may not be as extravagant as other messages, but it's needed. Like we gotta fix this so that we can go out and continue to help others. It doesn't matter if we have millions and millions of dollars if we can't even enjoy it. So that's why I shall and I will progress and give you, every time I get information about this, I will share it with you, because this is the temple where Yah dwells. All right. Thank y'all. Any questions? Any questions? If not, that is it, Apostle, and you can. Oh.
The reason why this competition is that, back in the old days, there wasn't this comparison. It's the comparison. Oh, they got this. Oh, they got this. But what is it that you want? Don't be worried about what everybody. It's what makes you happy. If you don't want a big house, even though you got the money, if you don't want a Mercedes, even though you got the money to do it, I just want this. That makes me happy. That makes me content. And it should be individual instead of you trying to fit in somebody else's space.
Yeah. And that is perfect, because I do think that we got so many visions of what everybody else is doing, and it kind of like, oh man, but no, what makes you happy? What is it that makes you happy? And I think also that deals with wealth. What is wealth to you? Like, wealth is not just money. Wealth is, to me, I believe that health is wealth. That's what I believe, right? I believe that I'm a person, traveling is something that I love to do. I love to visit different sites, different places. I would rather do that than other things that people, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. And I think, just like you said, Elder, we got to figure out what makes us happy, and not what everybody else has got going on, what they doing. We can't compare. And that is right. That is what it is. People start to say, well, they got this, and I should have that too. No, you got money. That's great. Do what makes you happy. Yep.
I think on the exercise thing is most people think you have to go to the gym, but that's formatted for people's mostly working like school teachers. And there's a system that you could use sometimes. We use Apostle Sherman. He's got a shovel in his hand. The average person don't put a shovel in his hand. He digging dirt. He's down there moving. He's moving these parts of the body what average person won't do. Well, like, let's say for your job, most of the time you're at the office. Or you could create your own gym. Get a rake broom. Walk and rake your grass in your yard. Rake the leaves. Get them all and bust some wood. You're creating it instead of just saying, okay, you got to go get a gym membership. A lot of people don't want to do it because they feel as if there's an emptiness there, but they feel like, for me, for an example, you give me a maul and a wedge or give me some hard work that the average person is not going to do. You can't tell me I'm not going to build some muscles. And still at the table, just don't eat as much. Eat what you like, but don't eat as much. I'm learning that one. And I think when we start, I try to tell the story now, man, like vault lowering devices. You got to curl those dudes. They ain't light. I've been to the gym. And I've seen in the old days, I've seen more muscular, I'm talking about, and they didn't go to the gym. Grandma always said this, because I think we talked about it. I asked Grandma, I said, Grandma, you're 92 years old. How did you live to get that old? She said, what you mean? She said, I just lived. And it was without stress, what she's actually saying. And I said, did you eat right? She said, I eat what I wanted to eat. But she knew how much. But in her life, they worked the fields and they walked the floors and, So I think in that part, what I'm saying is we should incorporate it, I think, and tell people, it's okay, you don't want to go to the gym? Get a rake broom. Go rake your grass. Don't put it in one pile. Well, you could put it in a pile. Get a wheelbarrow. Pick it up and move it, and then walk it from here to, But some people don't have property like what we have. They live in apartments, so they can't do that. So now they got to go walk at the park. But for those who can do that, they can enjoy their prosperity and also enjoy their property, but yet they can still get that time with the Lord. So that way, I try to explain it to some people that way, and it seems to help. But then you get some birds gonna come along. Oh, now you can't that's not exercise. I'm saying, what do you mean? You come do what I do and then tell me. So what I'm saying is, it's just, if we could just help them that way too. Because some folks ain't gonna get out and go walking, but they'll get out and go to work and just walk the distance. Walking is walking. And just keep it moving. Long as you're moving. Long as you're moving. And some people can run. I don't run no more unless I got to. I'll walk now. Because I'll run my feet. But what I'm saying is just that'll help some of those who don't want to go to the gym, maybe don't want to walk to the porch, because people sometimes they get leery about going to places, especially, and if I ain't got a partner, I'm not going to go. But you can rake your own yard, or you could do some of those things like you said while you're sitting in the house. Start mopping that floor. Don't just sit down. Sweeping and all of that. I've seen them, in the old day, I used to see them sweep the ground. There wasn't nothing there. But they stayed in good health. You look at Uncle AT. You go to the gym? See? Yeah, get out the ride, boy, push it. And that helps us, and we should start promoting it in addition to those who can't go to the gym. Now, if you won't have that, go to the gym. Go to the track or whatever you need to do, and then tell them that'll help, But while you're out there, just get a peace of mind.
Most definitely. And just like you said, a lot of the moves in the gym are emulations of work anyway. Yeah. So when you see they got in the gym, they have this little, it's called a mall, or they got a mall, and they're having you hit the tire. It's the same thing as you hit chopping wood, right? They got it's a what is it, a maze? So you can use the maze, something like that. It's sweeping. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them, the movements are the same. It's just whatever you can do it. Yeah. And like back, they didn't go to the gym, and none. I promise you, they were in shape. Yeah, they were in shape. Cause I know that, and even you can look now, like in, like you go to some of the third world countries, them folks in shape. Not the ones in the city. These are people in the country, and they ain't going to no gym. So you can do it. You just gotta have it in your head that you want to do. You want to make sure that your temple is a place that Yah will dwell. Yeah.
And I don't have a question, but as you were talking and you were talking about what we intake into the temple, it just reminded me of something. And I say it all the time, but you don't realize it until you hear it, and you really hear it. And so, like you were talking about what we take in, and I found that because it has started happening to me, because I changed some things with my own self. when it comes to, my body and health. And I found that when you give the body, and this works on not just the spiritual level, but the natural level as well, when you give the body what it needs, the nutrients that it needs, there are certain things that you don't even crave anymore. And and I'm gonna use a natural thing. Everybody know I was a Bluebell girl. I like Bluebell. The other night I fixed a bowl of Bluebell. Fixed me a bowl. Mary wanted a little bowl. Fixed us a bowl. I had about 3 spoonfuls, and Mary said, "What you do?" I threw it in the trash because guess what? It didn't even taste right to me anymore. My mind said I wanted it because it was something that I was used to eating and doing. But when I put it in my mouth, it was like, I don't even want this. And I dumped it in the trash. Mary said, "You dumped it in the trash?" And I did. And that's the same thing with the spiritual intake. When we eat the word the way that we are supposed to, there are certain things that we don't crave carnally because we have taken it in spiritually, the spiritual nutrients that we need. That's all I had.
That's true, because it's like replacing something. So you take away the bad, you replace it with good. Apostle Clayton used to say all the time, you can't take something away from nobody and not give them nothing to replace it. So you got to have something to replace it, and you're replacing it with good stuff, good nutrients, and then your body's good. You don't need it. You don't crave that. And a lot of our cravings are because we're missing certain nutrients anyway. And it was in a book. I can't remember the exact name of the book, but as you crave maybe sweets, or as you crave salted things, it's because you're deficient with something in your body. So you get all that stuff lined up, you're good to go.